Hi everyone, this is Holly Conley, your instructor. I wanted to kind of give you an overview of what the expectations are in this course and where to find everything. And we're just going to start by clicking on the content. So if you click on content, it brings up everything. So I'm going to click on table of contents. And then we're going to go in and start in the Start Here tab. I'm just going to start at the beginning and kind of go as we need to. So here's one piece of information. This is my contact information. You will see on here that we have my email that you can reach me at any time, and I'm usually pretty quick with responding. The other thing that you have here is a link to my calendar. You can make appointments directly with me. You do not have to email me to request an appointment. This can be done. There are about 9 hours every week that are set up for student hours. Once you click the time that works for you, it's going to send me an email and I will confirm it, and that will send us both a Zoom link for us to meet during that time. Make sure you log in with your Dell Tech email, and make sure you also check that your time zone is set correctly so that the times match up from your calendar to mine. Next, my phone number is also here, so make sure that you're aware this is my cell phone number. I have no problem with you calling or texting. However, if you do decide to text, make sure that you include your name and your class section so that I am aware of who is reaching out in need of help. Alright, so again, that's my information so that you can make sure that if you need help, you have a way to reach me throughout the course. The next part goes into the syllabus course information and schedule. The syllabi just has the link that tells you the objectives that we're going to cover in the course. Up here you can see the weighting of the assignments. So we have 60% of exams, 10% for the comprehensive problems and videos, 15% for quizzes and projects, and 15% for the assignments. So those are the categories you're going to see and how your grade is calculated. In here you have the course information. So if we click into that, it's going to tell you how our course is set up. So basically when we're looking, we have, again, in my instructor information, our class is running online for 15 weeks. You do need access to your Dell Tech email and also to D2L to be successful. In here it tells you the types of assignments we need to be looking for, so you should be reading each chapter. There are concept overview videos that you're going to do that are graded. There's one for each of the chapters. They're good intros into the chapter, and they are interactive where they're going to ask you questions to see if you're understanding as you go. One thing to remember with them, they will give you credit even if you click through them and don't watch them. But keep in mind, I do run a report to see how long you spent on them, and if you didn't spend the appropriate time, you'll see your grade change from the 100 that Connect gave you to the 0 that I'll give you. Under the Smart Book, that is where you're going to be completing multiple choice questions or fill in the blank questions based on the reading. They're there to help reinforce the reading, and hopefully you do that before you get into the practice. They'll help you with the understanding. The next one is the chapter problems. There are 1 to 2 sets for every chapter. Typically they're broken down in Practice A and Practice B. Practice A are the simple quick ones. Practice B gets into more of the exercises. Then we have the chapter comprehensive, and students are responsible for completing these. They are like a summary assignment. They are also graded. Then we have chapter quizzes. Chapter quizzes are 10 points each. They are true/false questions. There is no time limit, and you're allowed to use your book and your notes for those. Going back to the assignments up here, concept overview, smart book, practice, and comprehensive, you have unlimited attempts to complete them, so you can do them as many times as you want until you earn a 100. Chapter quizzes, you have 1 attempt. Same thing with exams. There are a total of 3 exams. There are actually 40 questions on each of the exams. You have 1 hour and 45 minutes to complete each exam. They are broken down into these chapters here. Again, this is how your grading is broken down. One thing to point out for class policies, we do not accept late assignments in the business department. So if you cannot get something done by the due date, I need to hear from you ahead of time to set up an extension. Has to be a reasonable reason, but we can usually work together to get to that. Alright, the next one is the detailed schedule. This is going to show you from beginning to end of the course what you need to know as far as what we're covering every week, where it's located, the topics, what you should read, review, and watch, and then also when assignments are due and what assignments are due each week. All assignments for this class are due Monday at 7 a.m. That allows, typically it would be Sunday at midnight, but I'm not going to look at it until Monday morning, so this will give you a few extra hours if you like to work through the night. Our first week is a little bit heavy. We do have a lot of work to do the first week. We're diving right in with Chapter 1, and you're going to be expected to finish Chapter 1 and do the practice, Smart Book, comprehensive quiz, everything for Chapter 1, and that's due by the first Monday. Then you also want to review the Chapter 2 concept overview videos to give you an intro into Chapter 2 before we dive into that for week 2. So again, every assignment you need to know that you're going to be graded on is in here. They're color-coded to kind of make it simple. Just make sure you watch all due dates, and if you need additional time, I need to hear from you ahead of time so that we can set up arrangements. Alright, going back into the Start Here tab, we have an orientation that you should complete after reviewing the information here and after you make yourself familiar with D2L. Going into policies and resources, there's some information here. Again, no late exams, no late assignments. That's a business policy. And then the other thing to note, which is not in here, is we did just change to a 10-point grading scale. So grades are calculated based off of a 90 to 100 being an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, and below a 70 is failing. So pay attention to that. It is a pretty big improvement from what we had before. You used to have a 75 to pass. Alright, going into some important information here, we have Connect information. Connect is the program we're using for all of our graded assignments. It's going to let you complete the work in there, and it's going to transfer directly into our D2L grade system. So to register for that, you're going to click on registration. You're going to see here that it has instructions. This is a slideshow, shows you how to register for Connect using D2L. You're going to skip step 5 because you don't need an access code, as the cost of the registration is included in your registration for the course. So after reviewing it, you're going to click on this tab here, McGraw-Hill Connect, and that's going to help you get access into your book and also into Connect to be able to do the work. Once you've accessed into Connect, you can always go back and look at the Connect Success Academy, which gives you assistance with how to use Connect. There's also a link here for Connect support if you have any questions or problems with Connect technically. Going into Module 1, every unit is set up like this, so every module contains the chapters that are in that module's exam. So Module 1 has chapters 1 through 4, and it's going to give us each of the chapters here on the left. If you click on one of them, it's going to show you that each chapter has 2 different folders. There's Chapter Resources and Chapter 1 Graded Assignments. So if we click into the resources, a few things in here. So you have the Need to Know videos, which are videos that are optional for you to watch. They walk you through practice exercises that come directly from the book. They're also available in your ebook at the end of different sections in the book. The next thing that you're going to see is the PowerPoint for each chapter, so you can download that and view it. You also have the accounting equation, the handy sheet, which is a handout, and then we have what we call a debit and credit cheat sheet. This is going to be helpful more so in Chapter 2, but I wanted to provide it to you up front. This is something that can be used on your exams and as well as your practice and quizzes, so it's important to make sure you print that one out and have it handy when you're doing your work. The other thing you're going to find is the lecture videos, and these are the lectures that I typically do in a classroom setting. Because of the pandemic and the remote learning, I have recorded all of my lectures and I'm posting them in here for you guys as well, just to have another resource so it's more like you would if you were in a classroom setting. So those are going to be in each of the chapters. Right now I believe it's just chapters 1 and 2, and you have some later ones posted. As I finish recording, I'll continue to add them. Alright, next going in, we're going to look at the graded assignments. This is important. This is where the grades come from for your grade in your class. So in here it tells you these are the assignments you have to be completing. So the Connect overview videos, Smart Book, Practice A and B for Chapter 1, Comprehensive, and a quiz. And you'll see they're listed in that order. That's the order you should do them in. They're in order for a reason. They kind of build on each other and will help you understand if you do from top to bottom. To do them, you are actually going to click in D2L and click on these links. This will ensure that your grade transfers over properly. If you click directly into My Lab, or into Connect, then it may not bring over your grades properly. So you want to make sure you access all assignments from D2L. The other thing that's going to do is as you access them, you're going to see these numbers over here decrease. That's going to tell you that you've completed all of the modules. When I look at course progress, it's going to show me what you've accessed and if you've accessed all the resources. You should. It's kind of hard to ask for help if you haven't used the resources that are already provided to you. So make sure you're reviewing everything that's provided. You'll see that Chapter 2 and forward are created the same. It starts out with the objectives, it has a Chapter 2 resources, and then it's going to have your Chapter 2 graded assignments. Again, that's what you need to know to make sure that you can get the grades that you need to for the class. One thing to point out, we do have 3 chapters that have something called extra practice, and they're labeled extra credit. Those extra credit assignments are worth 5 points towards your each exam. So by doing those extra practice for those 3 chapters, you can get up to 15 points towards your exams. So it's important to do them because you never know when you're going to need those points. Alright, the rest of the chapters are laid out exactly the same. The second module has chapters 5, 6, and 8. Module 3 has 9, 10, and 11. And as we get closer, you're going to see those review tabs open up, and there'll be some type of review in there for each of the exams, whether it's a list of topics that you need to be aware of and things like that. That's also where you're going to find your actual exam when it's time. You can't take the exam until the week that it's scheduled. But once you're allowed to take the exam, you'll see some review things and you'll see the exam labeled in here. You'll have until the due date to complete it. After the due date, no exams are allowed to be taken. If you need additional time ahead of time, make sure that you schedule that. Make sure you reach out and ask for an extension. Alright, I think that's what I wanted to share with you. If I think of anything else, I'll try to post it in the announcements, but hopefully this will at least get you started with what to expect and how to get started in our course. Thank you. Have a great night.